Okay, ladies and gentlemen, you've got Darren Little here from Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada with the MLM Superheroes, and we are live right now on an international broadcast, broadcasting to all four corners of the world. Guys, this is one of the amazing things about the power of the internet. And if you're just logging on here for the very first time and maybe you went to YouTube, maybe you went to Google and you typed in Millionaire Mentoring. And for some reason, this video just popped up into the possible screen area. Now, guys, what I want for you to understand about the concept of leverage and cloning, okay, because that's really what we teach. Right now, as you're watching this, in some other area of the world, there's a cloned version of me, the real me, like this. It looks like me and everything else. There's a cloned version of me that's doing millionaire mentoring in other areas of the world. There's a cloned version of me talking about how to automate your income to make money while you sleep. There's a cloned version of me teaching people how to recruit new reps in 6 to 45 minutes. There's a cloned version of me helping people to step into their personal power through Unleash the Alpha Within. There's a cloned version of me teaching people how do you get connected to your dream with unstoppable vision. There's a cloned version of me teaching people how to develop a $9,000 day mindset, right? So what you've got to understand with what you're on right now, right, once you learn these strategies, you can actually have multiple versions of you working for you while you're at work, while you're on holidays, while you're hanging out with your children, right? Clone versions of you. So imagine you're in some future reality and you call the laboratory and you say, guys, yeah, I'd like 50 more copies of me. Can you have those ready by Thursday, right? That's what we're talking about here, guys. So what I want for you to understand right now, as you're watching this, there are clone versions of me all over the internet that are working for me while you're watching this right now. Guys, that's called leverage, okay? Now, I talk about this stuff a lot, but the question is, are you actually doing it, right? I don't know, right? Only you can answer that. Now, there's a difference between doing something that's called linear income, where you're trading time for money, and leveraged income, right? Like getting a certain point, the arm wrestle, and it's down, right? That's a leverage point, right? Now, once you learn how to use the power of the internet and video and Google Hangouts and a central hub, which is your blog, right? That's when you start to get true leverage, guys. That's when you start to get true leverage. Now, a lot of people get into online marketing and they're actually still working a linear income. Now, what do I mean by that? What do I mean by a linear income? Linear income is typically when you're working an hourly wage, right? Or you're working on salary, okay? So if you stop working, the income stops coming in, right? So in other words, if you're in a situation where you are personally required in order for you to make the income, right, that's linear income, right? Because if you don't go into work, you don't get paid, right? So what I want for you guys to all start to think about in your bigger picture as to when you roll out your campaign, right, is that you've got to start to think about cloning yourself. What do you have on the internet that's duplicating versions of you, okay? Because that's what's going to give you leverage. So in the event that you're thinking to yourself, okay, well, I'm at work right now, so I can't do my business, right? If you're in a situation where you're working your online business, right, and you're not there, right, you're still working linear, right? That's still trading time for money. So what I want to point out to you guys is that it's really about being creative, Okay, now I'm gonna show you a couple examples tonight, and I'm going to talk to you about the psychology behind it, right? And how that you can provide some value, right? Because there's a lot of people that want to be able to learn how do you create automation? How does that work? What's that all about, right? So they're looking for somewhat leadership. They're looking for somebody to show them what to do and how to do it so that they can do it too and get results, right? Makes sense, right, when you think about it. So anytime that we start anything new, it doesn't matter if you're just learning how to be a draftsman or you're just learning how to be a carpenter, right? Whatever the situation is, maybe you're just learning how to be a hairstylist. Typically what happens is those people go through some sort of a schooling, right? And then they get graduated, right? So they maybe have a 2-year course or a 6 months course, or maybe it's a 4-year course to get their Bachelor of Arts, right? Maybe they're going to go into a doctor and maybe it's 7 years or 10 years, and then they get a diploma, right? So I want you to start to think about that when it comes to your own personal online business, right? Because a lot of people, what they do is they get some training or they come for mentoring, right? But they never actually do the homework, right? And that's the most important part. So a lot of people will say, well, Darren, you know, how do you really get emotionally connected to your dream? And I say, go through Unstoppable Vision and do the assignments, right? So they'll loop back around and they'll say, well, I'm you know, my business isn't really taking off. And I'll say, well, did you go through Unstoppable Vision? Well, yeah, I watched it, right? Did you do the assignments? Guess what? The majority of the time the answer is no, 0, right? So they wonder why they don't get the results that they're looking for, because they're not taking the foundational action steps, just like that first phase of the education in order to get the diploma, right? So when we're talking about quantum physics, when we're talking about creating your own reality and manifesting whatever it is that you want in your life, you've got to first of all understand the actual equation, the equation for manifestation. What's the equation? The equation for manifestation is really simple. It's thought, directed emotion that generates feeling. Okay? And the feeling that's broadcast from your physiology in your body is what's going to start to communicate with the electrons. They're smaller than the atoms and the molecules. Now, what's very interesting about this whole concept, guys, is those electrons, they're in what's called a state of superposition. So they're like this. They haven't made up their mind. Are they going to be a wave of energy or are they going to be a particle of matter? They have not made up their mind yet. What is going to be the determining factor on what those electrons are going to become, right? What's going to be the determining factor? It's what's coming off of your body, your physiology. So this is your compass throughout the day, guys. This is your compass for you to be able to know which way are you blowing in the wind. Because if you're emotionally connected to what you want, the wind's going to blow you towards what you want. If you're emotionally connected to what you don't want, the wind is going to blow you to what you don't want, right? And you have to take responsibility, right? That it's your thoughts, your words, your emotions that are determining that every part of the day. So I typically will say multiple times throughout the day, how do I feel? How do I feel? Because I want to get grounded inside here. I want to tune into my compass, right? So that I can steer the ship, right? Now, if I recognize how I feel, right, I can now backtrack that to what was I in repetitive thought over. So if I'm not feeling good, if I'm not feeling empowered, I've got to look at what was my repetitive thought going through in my brain, right? Thought-directed emotion, right? What was the repetitive thought that created me to go down the wrong path, right? And when I tell you that you're walking a tightrope between these two realities, guys, I'm really serious. This is no joke. This is the real deal. You are walking a tightrope between two different realities. Everything you want and everything that you don't want. Okay? Whichever one that you're emotionally connected to is the direction that you're going to go. Okay? And the direction that the doorways are either going to open up or close. Right? So are all of these amazing things happening for you in your reality? Are, today as an example, I had somebody that reached out to me from Singapore that wants to get started in the business. I had somebody that reached out from Johannesburg, right? I think that's in Africa or something, isn't it? Isn't it Johannesburg? And I had somebody that reached out to me from Germany, right? So I was on some Skype calls, and I had another call from a guy that, I'm just trying to think what area code that he was in, a teacher, his wife works at a university, right? So it gives you an idea. And this is another thing that I want to talk about. He was actually from Illinois, okay, the 309 area code, okay? So, and then I also had a call with one of my students that's going through Millionaire Mentoring. So what I want for you guys to understand, and this is one of the things that I went over today with Chris Lawrence, is I said, Chris, you've got to be very clear on who are your perfect business partners, okay? And I'm talking about writing it out, okay? No guesswork here, guys, okay? No guesswork. And I can tell you this, if you do not get clear on who you want to attract into your reality, you are going to get tested from the universe. Now, what's going to be your test? Boundaries. Okay, you will get tested. If you are not clear on who is okay for your business and who is not okay for your business, you will get tested to see if you've got boundaries. And you're going to draw a line in the sand and either accept those. You're either going to waste time with victims, right? Over and over and over and over and over. People that have no money. Oh, I don't know what to do. Oh, right? Those people. Or you're going to be attracting people that are business professionals, because there's tons and tons of people out there, guys, that are, $100,000 a year income earners. They're senior level management. They've just been laid off, downsized, cut back, pig slipped, whatever. They're overqualified for the workforce, and they're looking for something, right? They could be, anywhere between 48 and 65, right, within that zone, right? And they're actually overqualified for the workforce now. What are they going to do, right? They're not in dire straits for money, right? They own their own home. Some of them own a vacation home. They own a couple of cars. They've got 2 kids. The kids are either just going into university or they finished university a lot of times. So who's going to be your perfect business partner? That's a perfect business partner for me, right? So typically they're $100,000 a year or higher. They're already an entrepreneur. So what do I mean by already an entrepreneur? Okay, they either own their own business already. They might own a restaurant or a lounge or a nightclub or a retail outlet or something, right? They might own some sort of a store, right? That's one possibility. They could be a realtor, a mortgage broker, or an insurance agent where they work for themselves in a sales type of environment. But hold on a sec, guys. Pat, if you're messaging me now, please, on this mentoring hangout, please just don't do that, because you're totally messing with my train of thought here. So just please respect that we're on a Millionaire Mentoring session. So guys, I've lost my train of thought here. So basically, you want to get very, very clear on who you want to attract into your world. Okay, that's imperative that you know that. Who is your target market? Who are you trying to attract, and who don't you want? Because the clearer that you get on who you do want, the more clear that you will be when people start to show up in your reality that they're just not qualified, right? They're not qualified to be in your business, okay? So very, very critical that you get clearly defined on this, guys. And trust me when I tell you, if you don't know, you are going to get a barrage of people that will waste your time. I'm not kidding you when I tell you this, okay? Broke people, victims, people that are unemployed, they're on UI, they say, well, I don't have $7. Right? You don't want to be wasting your time with those type of people as an entrepreneur, guys. Seriously, let's get real. Okay, business costs money, and typically when somebody is broke, it means they are emotionally broken. Okay? So what I say to people is I give them a few tools, right? I don't just kind of tell them off or whatever, right? But I do say in my top topic in my stuff when I'm writing, I say, the first thing that I can tell you, because I had this guy reach out to me today and he was like, well, you're lucky because you're probably one of those guys that's on the very top. Not us bottom feeders, right? And I said, first of all, I want you to know that I started with nothing, just like you, but I certainly don't play the victim card. I wrote this in the email to back to the guy, okay? But I said, here's what I will recommend for you, okay? Number one, read the book, Ask and It Is Given. And number two, watch this webinar that's 90 minutes and do the homework. Best of luck on your path, Darren. Okay, so I actually gave him Unstoppable Vision, and I gave him a book that will help change his life, right? I've done my part, okay? So that's what I do so that I feel that I'm contributing and giving back and making a difference, okay? I recommend a book, and I give them an actual webinar that they can use, that if they actually do the homework, they can turn their life around completely, right? Unstoppable Vision and Ask and It Is Given, okay? And then I'm done with it, okay? I'm done after that. They're on their own. Okay, now they got to figure out how to go get the money, right? Because I'm not going to finance somebody into the business. So I've also had people say, well, if it's so good, then you pay my way in and I'll pay you back from the profits. Are you kidding me? Like, that ain't going to happen, right? So I can tell you that when I started my very first business, it was $4,000 and I was in my 20s. I drained my bank account. I got money from my parents, plus I got a loan out from the bank to go get that money to start my very first business. So when somebody gives me the whole victim story, okay, I'm not even interested, right? You're out of my reality, right? So you've got to be very clear on that and have a very, like a line in the sand, right? And we were talking about that today on our call, right, Mary? Okay. So it's very important, guys. Okay, that's going to be a pinnacle point of your path here. Okay, so the next thing that I want to share with you tonight, guys, is I talk about a very, very simple thing. Okay, anybody can do this, but few people actually do. And I've never really been able to figure out why, right? But I'll tell you, this is the missing link for people in their business, okay? This is leadership. This is a leadership business model. So completely wipe it out of your mind that you've got a pitch or that you're trying to sell products. That's not what this business model is about at all, okay? By being a leader and stepping up and putting your hand up and say, I'll be the next person. I'll do the millionaire mentoring like Chad Turner did, right? I said, guys, you know, I'm going to be at the airport. Can somebody please volunteer to do the Millionaire mentoring? Within seconds, Chad said, I'll do it. That fast, guys, that fast. I'm not kidding you, okay? Live. I'll do it, right? That's the sign of a leader, right? You don't have to twist their arm. You don't have to put them in a headlock, right? They just volunteer, right? They step up, right? Hey, I need a testimonial. I'll do one, like that fast, right? So here's the formula for leadership. Okay, so we have a certain amount of training that's in our material. Okay, so here's an example. So let's say that somebody gets involved with iPass, and the only thing that they've bought is six-figure shortcuts. It's a $197 product, but there's enough information in there that's going to give them a couple of action steps to implement to fast-track their way to six figures. Okay? The people that understand what I'm saying here about learn, implement, and share. Okay, so this is what the smart people do. They watch the first video, right? And they take some notes and they go, oh, okay, I get it. Oh, okay, oh yeah, that makes sense. Okay, cool, I can do that. And they start taking a few notes and they go, okay, I'm going to implement that strategy. So what they do is they take a 3 or a 5 day period of time, right? And they implement it now. So maybe the strategy was to use a certain ad copy on a Facebook page, or use certain ad copy to go into a group, or maybe it was, you know, to do a blog strategy to talk about personal development and leadership, whatever the strategy is, okay? And then post that, send it to your list, and then post it on your wall, and post it to a bunch of groups that's going to provide value and solve a person's problem, okay? Which is leadership, just so you know. Solving people's problems, that's leadership, right? So if you go, well, what problems was I having? Well, I mean, I ran out of my warm market, right? Well, that's a problem for everybody. Everybody has that problem. Now, if you can provide a solution to that problem, collect some data of how you've used a certain strategy to get these little bit of results, now you can share that, right? And that's the part that people don't do, right? They might learn, oh yeah, I'm learning, oh yeah, I'm learning, right? But what about the two most important things? What are you implementing to collect some data with, and how are you turning that into a little mini presentation so that you can share it with people, right? Because if you're not doing those two things, people will not look up to you as a leader. Okay, so you've got to start to realize this, guys, okay? Each one of us is like the CEO of our team, okay? We're the CEO of our little group. Now, I want for you to realize that I've got 4 people here on the line, right here, there's 4. Okay, there's some people as well watching on YouTube right now, but it doesn't matter to me. I could be talking right now to a blank screen. It wouldn't matter. How about that? I could just be talking to this little green dot here that's staring me at the face, and I'm going to say the exact same things because I'm talking to the people that are watching. If you're watching me on YouTube right now, I'm talking to you, and I'm going to help you understand this whole concept on how you can clone yourself, create value, put it into the internet, into cyberspace, so that when you go to sleep, you're actually connecting with people from here, from your heart. I call it a naked soul. Okay, I got no agenda other than to help you. That's my agenda. I want to help you to fast track you along the path so that you really understand how really easy this is. So let's say I'm brand new. I've don't have any experience at all in online marketing. Okay, I'm brand new. I'm a brand new rookie. Okay, I'm going to watch a video, and from that video, I'm going to take some notes so that I've got some action steps that I can implement a specific strategy that I've learned. Okay, I'm going to take the notes. Now, here's what I will tell you. This is what cripples most people. they're afraid of failing, so they don't take any action at all, right? If it's video as an example, okay. So do you guys realize when we put out a little, thing like this, you know that Kevin Carroll was the only person that took massive action immediately, took action, put it up, was in the group, like that. Within, I'm not kidding you when I tell you, within 6-7 minutes, he was live. And it was right when he started. So Kevin, what I want for you to do right now is I want for you to just unmute for a sec, if you can. Kevin? Okay. Kevin, I want for you to share with people here what was going on in your mind the second that you took action, the second that you put on your video to go right into action and you didn't care about anything other than making that thing happen right there. What was going on in your mind?
To be honest, I was trying not to think of anything and just do it. I didn't hesitate to do it. I saw it and I was like, okay, I need to get this done, and I did it. I didn't want to let it linger and talk myself out of it. So without even thinking, I just took action and got it done as quick as I could and got it posted.
Okay, and that is a good solution, guys. Just so you know. So listen to what he said. I said, Kevin, what did you think about? He said, to be honest, Darren, I didn't think about anything. I just thought about it has to be done now, right? And he went into action, okay? So when I started to talk to Pat McKeon about, Pat, we're going to do proclamations, we're going to do this, we're going to get you down to the exotic car dealership. Literally, guys, within 24 hours, she had a video up, right? And with all the response that she got from the video, you could tell that video is actually her gateway. Okay? Everybody's got their gateway. Okay? Everybody's got their skill that they're going to be good at. And for Pat, video is one of her strong points. Okay. So, but instantly, because I was saying, Pat, if you really want to go to the next level, you're going to have to be prepared to be vulnerable, right? So she did a video right fresh out of the shower in her robe, right? And she was doing proclamations. And I mean, it was like, she was lit up like a Christmas tree with emotion. And that trickled over into all the comments. Oh, Pat, I love you already. Oh, Pat, you're amazing, right? And that trickled over into her marketing. How about that, right? But she didn't think twice about it. She moved into action, right? So important to understand that part. Okay, so what I'm going to do, guys, is I want to give you an idea of something that I put together. And, this is just one, this is one example of what's possible. Now I'm going to pre-frame this to tell you that when I get involved with something, guys, I take a ridiculous amount of action. Okay? And I'm really serious here. Like when I commit to a project, I will go literally balls to the walls from the moment that I get up until the moment that I can't keep my eyes open anymore. Because my goal is to break inertia. Okay, that's my goal. And I understand that, and I'm going to show you how that works right here. I'm going to give you an example of it. So what was the whole thing around this? Okay? I know that there's a lot of people out there that have a budget. That's my target market. So when I talk about speaking to the listening, that's what this does. Okay, so what is it? It's called automation mastery. Building a business while having a life. Okay, so who's my target market? My target market is, once again, the person that's making over $100,000 a year. Between them and their husband, maybe they make $150,000, right? They have a home, they own it, they have a vacation property, they got 2 cars, they got 2 kids. Kids are either finished university or going into university. They don't have an exit strategy. So what they're looking for is they're looking for an exit strategy. They have a budget, but they don't necessarily have a lot of time. So that's my target within my verbiage there. Automation mastery, building a business while having a life. Okay. So you can see that the uh, it's not like a lot of hoopla, right? It's real simple. Like I haven't put any super graphics or anything like that. But what I did do is I got David to do a little border, right? When everybody's got access to David, right? David's the designer in India. He's in the file section. So, but my bigger picture, my bigger goal, right, is to roll out the Academy of Quantum Physics Mind Mastery and put it into an actual product, a $3,000 product that's going to be marketed through an affiliate program, right? And later this year, that's my intention, to be able to roll out that as an individual product. Okay, so let's just take a look at this. So I'm sort of doing two things simultaneously. Every time somebody watches this, they're reading the Academy of Quantum Physics Mind Mastery, right at the bottom there. You can see it's kind of hidden there with this little thing above it, but I'll just keep on going. Okay. So now this is more about the graphics that I'm talking about. Now that's not me, guys, just so you know. That is my head, okay? That's it. That is my head on another piece of stock photography. But you can see the impact that this type of branding has when it comes to PowerPoint presentations, when it comes to, you know, Facebook marketing. When I could put that on Pinterest, I could put that on Instagram. So these type of graphics, when you start to look to brand yourself, this is the stuff that I'm talking about. Now, anybody could do this. Why don't more people? It completely blows me away, because not only do I open up the gateway to explain how it works and why it works and the psychology behind it, but I actually give you the guy that did it. So we're not talking about, you know, like, oh my God, this is the confusion zone. Oh, I don't know what to do, right? Because I'm telling you, that's only my head. So I took a photograph of myself with my phone, right? Just, it was in my window, and I took I used that in a lot of my graphics about going warp 9. Okay, get ready, guys. We're gonna go warp 9. Here we go. This is the image that I use for the head. Okay, I've also used that for you know, the He-Man guy that's going into beast mode, right? I use that head as well on the top of the cartoon figure. Okay, so that's about the personal branding stuff. Okay, so let's go. So now this is about giving something of value for free so that these people will stay for the whole presentation, right? Now, once again, that's only my head. The rest of it is all stock photography, right? And all of that can be done through David. You've all got that contact, okay? Now, here's what I will tell you guys. The only person, you are the CEO of your business. And the only person that is going to take your business to the next level is going to be you. Okay, so a lot of people go, well, I'm not having the type of success that I want, and I will say, okay, cool. Well, let me take a look at some of your branding, right? Well, they haven't done any. Well, what's your special sauce? I mean, what is it that you've sort of want to focus on? Well, I don't know, right? That's why you're not having any success, right? Because this is a specific formula that I know works. How do I know that it works? Because it generated 50 grand in 90 days, guys, right? So I know that there's a formula here that is lassoing people in. Now, keep in mind, I just started in November, but within that short period of time, I'm in the top 10 for the most black card sales. So this is a formula that I'm giving to you guys that I know 100% works. 100%, and there's a track record to prove it, right? So it's not like, hey, I read this in you know, I went to the seminar and let's give this a good college try, or, you know, I read it in a book. I read, you know, Robert Kiyosaki's book, and it talked about the strategy in there. Guys, this is the real thing, right? This is how people's psychology works. So I start off by speaking to the listening. Then it was into personal branding, right? Now it's into giving value up front so that they will stay to watch the whole thing. Now, when I talk about this, I say, guys, just so you know, you're going to get this $297 free bonus whether you purchase something or not. I just want to make that clear before we even go any further. So just for showing up, because 80% of success is all about showing up, I'm going to give you a $297 bonus that's going to completely transform your life just because you showed up today, right? And that's about creating the mystique. I even might create a couple of testimonials around this so that there's this huge amount of bonus value that they're going to get just for staying. Okay, so let's see what's next. Okay, so now I talk about how 95% about business is all really about mindset. Because I had a guy email me today, and he says, you know, well, Darren, what's really realistic? You know, I mean, you know, you sent out this email showing that you made almost $7,000 in 2 days, but what's really realistic? Because if everybody could make $7,000 in 2 days, I mean, everybody would be doing it. I said, it's all going to depend on what is realistic for you. What do you believe? Because this is a leadership business model, and I don't know what level of leadership that you feel that you're at. All I can tell you is that I haven't even scratched the surface of what I believe is to be realistic, but I don't know what your number will be. See how it's really all about the mindset, about how 95% of this is mindset and what you believe to be true for you. And all of this, guys, works on the wave particle theory that I talk about in my quantum physics training. It's all about that, because the scientists that believed that those electrons were made up of waves of energy, they got 100% conclusive evidence that those electrons are made up of waves of energy. The scientists that believe that those electrons are made up of particles of matter, they got 100% conclusive evidence, guys. The only difference was the laboratory and what they believed to be true. Okay, so I can tell you this for fact. 95% of your business is what you're going to believe to be true for you. Okay. So I talk about this a lot, but notice how I'm giving away a lot of these pointers. Somebody could have logged on for the very, very first time. And what I want to do, I want to give them some value. So if they leave just coming to see my little presentation here, right, they're going to leave here with something that's going to change their life. Okay? So, and this is a really simple concept. If you want to master your bank account, you need to master 3 things, guys. Your thoughts, your words, what you say and what you write, and your emotions in your body, your physiology in your body. Your thoughts, your words, and your emotions. Now, I want to set the bar in the area of belief, because I go, okay, well, here's the industry standard. Okay, so 0.1% earn more than $400 per month. That's it, 0.1% earn more than $400 a month. So I want to set that bar for them. I want them for them to realize that here's what I'm going to tell you based upon the wave particle theory. You can either believe that number to be true for you, or you can believe that you're an anomaly, like I believe. I believe that I can start any business and in 30 days it can be at 10 grand a month. Poof, like that. Because that's my belief, guys. That's what I believe in every single cell of my body. Right? I believe I can speak my reality into existence. I believe all I've got to do is focus on the feeling in my body of my preferred state, and I can make that happen. That's what I believe to be true. So guess what magically happens? That's what happens, right? Okay, so what do I do next? So I talk about how do I work on my mind, right? What's the secret? How do I make these things happen? Instead of me thinking about the worst case, I think about the best case scenario. What's the best case scenario? The best case scenario is, what if every single person that I talked to wanted to join my business? I mean, it's a possibility. That's how I recruited 7 people in a single day. That right there. What if everyone I talked to wanted to join my business? What if my phone was ringing off the hook with incoming calls? Guess what magically happened today? Right? I had like 3, 4 incoming contacts. Is that a coincidence, guys? Do you think that's a coincidence when that's what I believe to be true for me in my reality? What if leaders were calling me from all 4 corners of the world? I got a call from Singapore today. I got a call from Germany. These are people that are reaching out to me that are complete, total strangers. How's that possible? Because I believe that to be true in my reality. What if I could recruit new reps in minutes? That's why I recruit new reps in minutes, guys, because that's what I believe to be true for me in my reality. Now, is that true for you? I have no idea, right? I'm telling you what the formula is that has allowed me to make millions of dollars. This is it right here, guys. I speak my reality into existence, and I'm so emotionally connected to this reality that I manifest that to come true. What if money was flowing to me in avalanches of abundance? Now, here's the interesting thing. Once you start to believe this to be true, you start to get pass-ups. Now, I want you to think about what happened this week, okay? Chad Turner had a $3,000 day. I didn't get the whole thing, like, because he was, the way that the marketing plan works is a person may have already passed up a blog, an inner circle, or a top producer formula, but I think it was the master's course that got passed up, right? I can't remember what it was, but it wasn't like the full amount. It was part of the amount, but it was still a good amount. It was like a couple of grand, right? And Mark Clyett also brought in somebody that had previously bought some of the products but decided that they were going to upgrade the same day with the team producer formula and the mass influence, okay? So combined with, between all of it, they may have got the top producer as well. So, but combined with all of it, in 2 days it was about $6,800. Because I believe that money is flowing to me in avalanches of abundance, okay? Now, what if I could create a $10,000 monthly residual income within a 90-day period of time? I believe I can do that in 30 days, but I did this for the masses because I've had multiple students be able to pull that off, right? I can do it in 30 days, but I'm saying 90 days as part of the presentation, okay? Now this now is what's called social proof. And this is the reason that I take such a ridiculous amount of massive action on the front end, guys. And I'm not kidding you. When I say that when I start a project and I'm going to have 25 connections in any given day, I really do that to break inertia. It's no BS. I really do that. And if I look back when I first launched Empower Network, when I first launched Explosial, I had as many as 75 connections in one day. Okay, so that's within a 57-day launch that it generated $24,348 plus a $3,000 monthly residual income. Now, keep in mind, the average North American only makes $3,000 a month, right? 5,000 is on the high side, but the average North American is between 3,000 and 5,000. The majority of them are around 3. Okay, so within a 57-day period of time, I created enough residual income to be the average mean, right, or the median, right, plus 24 grand that I could now operate my business with. Okay, so that's what. So what is that? That is now providing data with my campaign results, right? And what did I do? These were all the things that I did, guys. I did these particular automation webinars probably, I think 5 times. I think 5 times I did this particular webinar where I posted it on my wall. I emailed my list, right? And I lassoed all those people together to give them this presentation. Obviously, I wasn't explaining it like this because I want to explain to you guys the psychology of how this works so that you'd be able to implement something like this for yourself to put together a little PowerPoint presentation, right? Like this. This is why I always tell people, if there is the one thing that you can learn that is going to propel your business, make PowerPoint like such a sense of urgency, like your life depends on it, guys. I'm not kidding you here, because this is the difference between massive momentum and flatline, right? Because if you don't toot your horn, nobody's going to know you're a leader. How about that? If you don't toot your horn, nobody's going to know you're a leader. Okay, so here's an example. You know, Chad Turner could do a webinar on, find out how I started a business and within 90 days got 13,000 Twitter followers and had three $3,000 days. Right? I'm going to be doing a webinar. If you want to see what I did, right? If I get 40 likes, right? Dangling the carrot, right? So that's, and then what does he need? All he needs is a PowerPoint presentation and stepping into a leadership role, right? That's what people want. They want to follow a leader. They want to follow somebody that if they follow the similar strategies, they're going to get results too. So Mark Clyott could say, find out how a full-time attorney, launched a business and was able to generate, I think he's at $7,000 monthly residual income, rank in the top 3 out of tens of thousands of affiliates, and add $250,000 to his law practice in 8 weeks, right? Opt in here for the webinar, right? And he puts together a little webinar to talk about his strategies, right? So that's what I'm talking about there. Okay, now this is more graphic. So the thing that is the important factor is the 12,344 is a screenshot from the back office. That top part that says iPass is also a screenshot showing he's a Black Card member, but the rest of that, one's a piece of stock photography that I had David do, and the money floating in, he did that on a Photoshop. So he sends me that graphic, and I made another graphic with the graphic, right? See how that works? So if I just put that little graphic on the bottom of 12,344, it'd be like, oh, whoop-de-doo, right? It wouldn't have the same type of impact than having it's official, the trophy, the money, the confetti like coming down. So that's what I'm talking about branding, right? But why is PowerPoint so important? This is the reason, guys. Okay. Now, this is showing an actual back office with transactions on a specific day, okay? Now, right now, there's a couple people right now in the team. There's Mark, there's Chad, and there's Mary that could actually do something like this where they've had a $150 or a $200 or $300 day where they could actually break it down, go into the back office and break down. Like $490 was a trial member, $25 was the monthly, $100 was for the, whatever. These were I just copied these out of the back office, right? Whatever these amounts were, I just pulled them out. And then, the total. So, and this was actually on the day after Christmas. That's what my income was for that day. And it just gives people an idea of what's possible, right? But do you see how I made it like, the date and the amount and what? I made that as a little graphic so it looks like, right, those are charts from the back office. So I made that little graphic to have more impact. The first day of Christmas, the internet gave to me, right? So that was a little spoof on that. And keep in mind, I did this right around January, so it was going into the new year, okay? Now, this was really talking about setting an intention. So when I started, I set an intention that out of tens of thousands of people, guys, that I wanted to be in the top 10, right? And they ran this contest, and I got up as high as number 6. I think I finished the contest at number 8, but I got up to as high as number 6 in this particular contest. And quite honestly, this was a massive milestone for me, right? A huge milestone, because I had literally just started. I started in November, and in January, I ranked as high as number 6 in the leaderboard. That was 58 days, right? So it was actually a little bit less than that. It was probably just around December, end of December. Okay. This is critical that you guys can see this, guys. Critical. Because keep in mind, now this was when I rolled out Explosial, right? But I've got these graphics here so that you can see what breaking inertia actually looks like in a visual, okay? So keep in mind, June 10th, when I got my first commission, keep in mind, I'm doing 25 connections in any given day, minimum, okay? So it looks like there's nothing going on in my business, right? Looks like in week 2 that there's nothing going on in my business. Now, most people that were working for 14 days straight, doing a minimum of 25 connections in any given day, their self-talk would have gone down a spiral. And it would have been like this. Oh, this probably doesn't work. Oh, I'll bet this is a scam. I probably got ripped off. Nobody's going to join me, right? That's what most people do. So they create a spiral downhill from there. So by week 3, nothing still would happen. But I know that it takes 3 weeks to break inertia. I'm already expecting this to happen. What magically happens? Right? It's almost 1,000. So it goes from like 120, 1,000. And then it goes from 1,000 to like, over 1,500, and then to 2,300, and then to, 2,700, and then to 4,600. Now, here it didn't look like there was anything going on. Here it didn't look like there was anything going on. If I didn't believe that to be true and expect this, it would have never broken inertia right here. But look what happened. This is June 10th, and this is July 29th. Okay, so what sort of a time frame are we looking at there? That's, what about, I don't know, 40 days or something like that? What is that, guys? 40 days? 10th to the 10th would be 30, right? Plus another 9, right? From the 10th to the the 20th. So 49 days, right? That's what's possible. But it wouldn't have happened if I was not expecting this right here, right here. That's breaking inertia right there. So look at that, was a 49-day period of time, and what did it do? $12,361.85. I show this for a reason, so that people can realize that if they give up right here, they're done. If they don't have control of their thoughts, words, and emotions right here, they're done. Their business is done. So when I say to somebody on a scale from 1 to 10, how serious are you? And they give me an 8 or a 9, I say, you know what? I got to be honest with you, I don't think you're qualified. Because they're out of the game right here with 10% already working against them. 10% is going to be 25% or 30%. If they're an 8, their 20% is going to be 40% right here of self-doubt, right? By here, that 40% is going to be 80%, and by here, they're out of the game. They're done, right? That's why that's so important. Now, when I show this, the purpose behind this part is to actually show people how this works. How do you, what is this? How does marketing work? You got to offer some value or solve a problem, send people to a lead capture page, right? You're going to get their data. They're going to take a $7 trial, and that's going to turn into $47 per month, okay? They're going to go into the 6-figure shortcuts upsell, which is a $197 sale. And there's going to be coaching upsells, and now they're going to have an opportunity to enter into the profit maximizers. So there's a $19.95 affiliate fee. The Pro's $125. Actually, it's $125. Silver's another $500. Gold's another $1,000. Black card is $3,995. So that gives people a visual of what are they really going to be doing with the program, right? So it's very easy for them to sort of get a, visual representation. Oh, I see, it looks like a funnel. Okay, that makes sense, right? And then I explain it in a visual like this, right? So in that circle is all the different things on the menu that people could be, going through the training. They pick one or two off of there, right? The goal is to get people into the lead capture page, right? I typically recommend giving away something of value for free, a free report, a free ebook, a free look at the system, whatever. Keep in mind it's going right into a $7 trial. After 7 days, those are going to become $47 a month. Upsell to six-figure shortcuts, call from the iPass coach, upsell to Pro, Silver, Gold, or Black. The autoresponder is going to kick in with follow-up emails, and then teach this formula. I call it boomerang sponsoring, right? And they can get a real true visual of understanding the business, right? So this makes it easier for people to go, okay, I get this now, right? Nobody's ever broken it down like this. Nobody's ever explained this before. Okay, so this is showing actual results with a campaign. This is complete transparency, guys, right? So this was my first campaign, and I piggybacked. I talk about piggyback marketing a lot. I piggybacked off of the Flintstones, right? Yabba dabba do. So there was a picture of Barney Rubble or Fred Flintstone, and he was, doing the big yabba dabba do, and I piggybacked off of that campaign to get attention. Okay, I also piggybacked off of David Wood, right? You can see here. So I did 2 piggybacks on this one particular campaign. Now keep in mind, I continued to reinvest back into my business, right? So I took that 560, I put it back in, right? I bought more traffic, right? I took that amount, I put it back in, I put it back in, right? Until when I was at 3 weeks, poof, I had my first $3,000 day. I took half of it, I put it back in. Right, just 3-4 days ago, I did another. I put $3,000 back into paid traffic. Right, so a lot of people will say, well, that's too much for me. Okay, well then don't do it. Right, I mean, you can either play big or play small. It doesn't matter. You can play both ways. Right, start off small like I did, work your way up. But this is the missing component. Right, so when somebody says to me, well, I bought some traffic, but it didn't work. I go, okay, so let me see your value. Show me your value. Well, I didn't really have any. Okay, well then you haven't done the formula. Right, let me see your PowerPoint presentation. Well, I don't have one. Okay, well that's why you haven't implemented the whole formula. What's the formula? The formula is do some strategy, get a little bit of results, lasso all the people. Right, so I'm going to say, show me your email where you invited people to meet you as a leader. Well, I never did that. Well, okay, that's so how do you expect to get the results then of being paid to be a leader when you haven't been the leader? Does that make sense, guys? So this is critical. A lot of people want the CEO income, but are they prepared to do the CEO stuff? This is the CEO stuff right here, guys. Okay. Now, a lot of people say, Darren, how do you increase your opt-in rate? I realize that if I look like every single other person, people are going to go, oh yeah, I've already seen that. Oh yeah, that's that iPass thing. Oh yeah, I heard about that already. They haven't even seen the video, right? They don't even know what it is. That's the reason that I did this, so that I'm separated from everybody else that's out there marketing. Right, so this particular lead capture page, my opt-in rate has been as high as 65%, guys. 65. I know, why would I do that? I did this so that I could stand out from the crowd, right? Okay, now this is what I call test marketing. So prior to iPass, starting, the Empower Network was in existence. Now, at the time when I started, I had already finished the test marketing phase for Empower Network. They've got amazing products, guys. So people say, well, this is almost like me taking a hit for the team, right? I've gone out and spent all the money. I've done all the test marketing. I've done all that for everybody. And I'm telling you that if you can get your mind in check, this will be the best opportunity that you've ever had your entire life. Because our products work, guys. Our Kalatu blog is amazing. It's very easy to set up for the masses. It's very affordable at $25. The mindset training is next level, some of the best marketers in the world that you get to hear from. And then every person that's in any company, I don't care if you're in OrganoGold, in Jeunesse Global, in Prepaid Legal, in Amway, if you don't have a blog, you are not perceived as a leader, and you're still trading time for money. You haven't developed a cloning mechanism where you can make money while you sleep, right? Without a blog, without cloning, with stuff like this, you have not cloned yourself. That's why this component in the whole model is critical. And there's not really anybody that's actually doing this. The one guy right now that actually has done this in his own kind of merit was Jason Bramble. Okay, Jason Bramble did this. Chad Turner has done one leadership training on his Twitter thing. I don't know if he's re-recorded that, if he's got the same version, but those are really the only two that I've seen so far that they're actually following the model, right? Now, if you read Jason's copy right now and the stuff that he's coming out with and his level of confidence, guys, it's going through the roof. Now, why is that? Because he's taking a leadership role. Who's blazing the biggest trail right now? Chad Turner right now. Chad Turner's blazing the biggest trail with his third $3,000 day. Why is that? Right? Because he's tapped into the personal development. He rewatched a lot of the Millionaire mentoring, right? Guess who's on the upswing right now? Mary Barnett, right? Is it a coincidence? She's on every Millionaire mentoring, right? She listens to them multiple times. Is it a coincidence that she's on the uprise right now? She hit as high as, I think, 74, something like that on the leaderboard, you know, just recently within the last couple of days. Why is that, guys? Think about it. She's now following the formula. And this right here, guys, just so you know, for all of you, is the missing link. Okay, that's why I wanted to take this time out and really focus on this so that you can understand this model. Okay, so it's learn, implement, and share. There's a lot of people out there learning, guys. A lot of people learning, okay? There's a fraction of the people that are implementing, but I hardly see anybody in the leadership role, which is the most important part of getting a CEO income, is the sharing part. Being that front person, being that CEO, being that motivator, the inspirer, the person that's going to lift everybody up and take them to the next level. That's you, guys. If you want to be making $20, $30, $40, $50,000 a month, that's why I say this is a personal development leadership model. Are you going to face your fears? Yes, you are. Absolutely. You will. Are you going to doubt yourself? Yes, you will. You have to put your feet to the fire and just throw your hat over the wall and say, I don't care if I fall. I don't care what happens. I'm doing this. I'm drawing a line in the sand once and for all. I am going for this. I'm going to create freedom for me and my family. That's it, period, right? This is the missing link right here. Okay, so how do you become the attractor factor? Here's the strategy that I used. I needed something to be able to sell that would pay me high commissions, right? Obviously, if I want to make six figures, get to a six-figure yearly income in 30 days, that means I got to make more than $8,333, okay? It needed to be affordable for the masses, so it needed to have a low entry price, right, with upselling. So it needed to be what I call under the radar. What's under the radar? Very, very low entry, like $7 to $25, but preferably under 60, right? So $7 is under that. Even the $47 is under that. That's called under the radar. It won't raise any flags between the husband and the wife. People needed to be able to become profitable in 30 days if they took massive action. So a lot of people will say, well, Darren, how long is it going to take me to make $10,000 a month? And I go, how long is it going to take you to become a leader? Right? When you answer that question, you will have your answer, right? So that's a good answer for them, just so you know. That's a great thing to say to people. Well, how long is it going to take me to be profitable? How long is it going to take you to become a leader? Right? When you can answer that, you'll have the answer to your question, right? Okay, so what's next? I wanted to make the most amount of money with the least amount of effort in the shortest period of time. The upsells were imperative. Now, because of the fact that this system does that on automation, it allows you to have iPass start to pay for your whole business, your list building, and your marketing and advertising budget, right? So it's important to understand this and the upsells. The corporate videos need to convert all on their own. So somebody says, Darren, tell me about this iPass, right? What am I going to say? 3 words. Watch this video. I'm not going to try to explain it. Watch this video, right? 3 words. I'm going to give them a link and say, watch this video. And then they're going to say, okay. I'm going to say, message me back when you're done. Okay? And a lot of times they just enroll on their own. I don't even talk to them other than when they've opted in already and I'm saying, welcome on board, welcome to the team. Now, there needed to be marketing training provided in the system that would help people to learn new skills. Now, why is that so important to be able to make that type of money? Let's say that I say, somebody goes, well, Darren, how do you become a 6-figure income earner? And I go, oh, well, you got to master video. I mean, if you don't know how to do video, then forget it. And they go, oh, well, I can't do it then, right? So you can't have it set up like that because some people, guys, just so you know, are going to have a huge budget, right? So those people are going to want to do paid traffic, Facebook ads, banners, solos, right? Those are the people that have the budget, right? Some people, like Pat McKeon as an example, is amazing on video, right? So she's a person that I would steer on the video path. Some people are complete introverts, right? But they're amazing writers. So they can't do video, but they're phenomenal on their blogging and their Facebook posts and articles and stuff like that. I know tons of people like that. So you've got to have a variety, and that's what I love about our training. Okay, so these are the steps I took, the exact steps. I got iPass 2, I got Get Response, I set them both up. I got the Black Card membership to allow me to have $3,000 days, right? Now, this is the emphasis here, guys. A person can start, smaller if they want, but this is the pinnacle. If you want to have $3,000 days, you need to get to Black Card ASAP. And something happens, just so you know, there's a shift that happens when you decide, okay, I am all in on my dream. There's something magical that happens, guys. I can tell you that for a fact. Do you know that every single one of the people that have gone Black Card, right, out of all the ones that are there on the leadership board, are all Black Card members. All the 6. Every single one of those people that are on the top 100, they are all Black Card members. It's not a coincidence, guys. It's not. Step 3, I purchased some paid traffic. I got some qualified buyers, and then I give them, also my link if they wanted to use that as well. And then I reported my results on social media. This is where the breakdown occurred, okay? Because a lot of people didn't really have impactful, punchy graphics that were going to get attention, or they didn't write a full story around the graphic. So they might have had a graphic, but where's the whole story behind it? Where was the pain? Where was the revelation? Where's the whole thing that changed your life? They missed that, right? So, because I watched all these little campaigns that were going, but this was the missing link, guys, just so you know, right? Was the full story. Stories sell, facts tell, okay? Big difference. And if you guys have watched some of my campaign stories, when I put out a story, sometimes it's like 6 inches, 8 inches, maybe even 10 inches long, because once I pull you in, you're reading the whole story, okay? Once somebody reads the first couple of sentences, they're hitting the more info, and they're reading the whole thing, guys, okay? So then what did I do? I continued to email my list, showcasing my results and providing more value. This right here is that missing component, because I have not yet seen anybody do this, guys, just so you know, to email their list, showcasing their results, and providing more value. So the beginning of this whole presentation today, right, talked about mindset, it talked about how to speak your reality into existence. What does that have to do with anything of this, right? Everything, because that's how I got those results, just so you know, was that whole first section. Now, whether or not you do that within your business, I can't answer that. I don't know, right? But that's how I became a millionaire. I spoke it into my reality. Once I realized that that's how the reality works, and it's about thought-directed emotion that generates feeling, and all I had to do was get emotionally connected to my future reality, and poof, a gateway was going to open, right? And then I show other people how to duplicate these results. It's important as well, just so you know as a leader, if you see people on this path and they're missing certain things in the formula, like on the step 4 or the step 5, and they're avoiding the one most important thing that they need to do, which guess what it is? Guess what it is? Be the CEO and step into a leadership role. 4 and 5 are the most important things. And then 6, if you see people veering off the path, you got to go and lasso them back in and say, hold on a sec, let's do a little huddle here. Let's huddle up, right? Because you're going off the path. You're not following the blueprint, right? Make sense? Okay, so then I talk about leads. You know, there's ability to get leads right there, and then boom, and here's now I give them their value, right? Unstoppable vision. And then I say, get back to the person who invited you here. My name is Darren Little, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so hopefully that's really painted the picture here for you guys to really see the missing link, because I believe right now that our team right now, guys, okay, we are in a pinnacle point right now. Seriously, we are in a pinnacle point at this. I get goosebumps. Look at this. I'm talking about this, and my hair's standing up on end right now. Look at that. Okay, we are in a pinnacle point right now as a team. Okay, because you guys have some knowledge right now that has not been broken down for these other people in quantum physics, creating your reality, speaking your reality into existence, proclamations, vision boards, how to break inertia, massive action, the whole thing broken down into little tiny pieces every step of the way, right? A lot of people are out there right now as we speak still trying to figure it all out, right? You guys have all of this literally like a red carpet rolled out for you right now, right? And there's a few missing links, okay? Chad Turner, I'm telling you, brother, you are ready to go vertical right now. You could literally in the next days in the next 90 days, go from where you're at to 10K a month. Okay, you're that close, okay? So close right now. Right now, Mary, with the amount of personal development that you've done, okay, in the last 4 months, you're ready to take this next step. You're ready. I know you feel that, right? Am I right?
Yeah, you're right. My computer is totally messed up. I can't even see you on a screen. It's like it's got this like freaky like I don't know. Am I the only one that cannot see Darren? Seriously, am I the only one? Oh, I can see chat now.
It's the screen share.
I was like, whoa.
Were you guys seeing my screen when I was sharing it?
Yeah, we were now.
Yeah, but then it got stuck.
Well, right now it's just showing like all the mirroring.
Yes. Oh, thank you. I thought I was stuck somewhere.
Okay. Can you guys see me now or no?
No.
Okay, but you saw the presentation, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, well that's okay. So what is it showing you right now?
The magic ball.
Looks like the time continuum.
Yeah, it's
That's what I've got.
when you hit the screen share, you know how it shows all the mirroring images of the screen on Google? It's just on that screen.
Okay.
The layer. Yeah, the layers. It was layered.
Okay, let me see if I can.
It's still layered.
Can you see me now?
Yep, you're
There
back.
you are. Yep, you're good.
Okay. Okay, so what my point here today, and I'm hoping that right now that light bulbs are going on for you guys right now, because they should be.
Yeah.
Right now, you
Oh, they are.
literally have fireworks going off in your brain going, oh my God, how could I have missed that? Because we've been talking about this stuff. Sometimes it's hard to see the forest through the trees, guys, just so you know, okay? The missing link in all of your individual businesses has been 4 and 5, right?
Yeah.
Really throwing your hat over the wall and stepping into your leadership, stepping into your power, right? And being that front person. Now, here's the interesting thing. Pat reached out to me the other day, and she's like, Darren, like, are all those people that you're introducing, are those all your people? And I said, yeah. Like 4 today or 5 today? And I said, yeah. She goes, oh my God, how are you doing that? This is how, guys, right here. Because see, what's going to happen is I'm going to now put this into a number of places, and it's going to work for me while I'm sleeping. How about that? This is going to create leverage, right? So people are going to watch this now, and they're going to go like, holy cow, like if he really shows all that stuff, what happens if you're working on his team? Then what happens? Right? That's what you want to be, that's what you want for people to be saying when they're watching your content. You want them to go, holy cow, I need to show this to my team. Now, if that's happening, okay, you're bang on. Because that's what will happen, okay, when you start to do this. Now, here's what I will tell you, Richard. Richard, you've got some phenomenal content, videos, copy, right? What the stuff that I talk about here today is the missing link for you, my friend. Can you see that now? Definitely, right? Yeah. Okay, just unmute for a sec there, Richard. You're still muted. No, you're still muted. No, something's up with the computer. Anyway, no big deal. Okay, guys. So here's what I'm going to tell you. Here's what I'm going to tell you about the next level for you. Okay. There's a lot of material that we have as our bonus training. Okay. I call that the special sauce. Right. The special sauce. Okay. Now, it's all about how you take ownership that you're in the special sauce. And it's right there behind door number 1. Okay? Now, how are they going to get access to the special sauce? It's whatever you decide. Whatever you decide. Let's say that you're working on your inner circle, right? And you want to build up your inner circle, right? You may use Unstoppable Vision, How to Recruit New Reps in 6 to 45 minutes, right? Those 2. And you're going to, those people, if they come in, they're going to get that if they become part of your inner circle. And there's testimonials and stories behind it of results. Look what Tom did, look what Mary did, look what Bob did, look what, Tony did, right? You can have that too, but how are you going to get it? Got to be part of my inner circle, right? In order to get that. Okay, so here's what I'm doing right now. I'm creating more special sauce, guys. Okay? Because as I am going through this, here's what I'm realizing. Here's what I'm realizing as I'm doing more of this type of stuff. Right now, there's a lot of people worldwide, okay, they're going through what's called the awakening, right? They're waking up, right? They're no longer programmed in victimhood and victimized and consumerized anymore. Their spirits are starting to wake up, right? They're becoming more aware that they can manifest. It's going on worldwide now, right now, worldwide, okay? Would you agree with that, Richard? Right, I'm speaking the truth right now, right? Yes, okay. So what is going to be my next special sauce? I get goosebumps. Look at this. As soon as I start talking about this, my hair stands up on my arms because I know this is the gateway, guys. This is the gateway. Manifestation magic. Okay, it's going to be a series that I'm going to put out, and I'm going to put a huge amount of stuff in like this that people are going to get access to. And the only way that they can get in is to be a Black Card member. Okay? Now, I want for you guys to think about this because you can piggyback off of this, right? Because you're in the inner circle right now. I've already taken all you guys into my inner circle, right, of mentoring, millionaire mentoring, right? So, but I'm going to put out this thing, Manifestation Magic, right? The only way that you can get into it is if you're a Black Card member, right? And you're going to see that I'm going to be, you know, like 8 spots left, 7 spots left, 6 spots left. We're rolling this out, guys. It's 5 spots left. And, you know, that's what's going to happen. Now, you guys can leverage this type of stuff. So David right now is working on some branding for 2 things. Okay, 2 things right now I'm rolling out for the team. One is going to be Manifestation Magic, okay? And the second one is going to be designed for mass market, okay? It's going to be called Step Up to Freedom. I'm going to show people how they, you know, keep in mind, this is for leaders only, okay? And I'm going to say that, leaders only, right? If you're tired of the worker beam business model of 3-way calls and home parties, and you're ready to step up as a leader, right? I'm going to show you how to step up to freedom. All right, it's going to show them how to take charge, take control of thoughts, words, and emotions, speak their reality into existence, and how they can start off with even a small budget, right? Even if they only had a blog, right? The affiliate fee, right, to start, and they can sell a certain amount of those and then step up to the inner circle, right? That would be the first goal that they can make. And keep in mind, guys, if somebody goes through just the mindset section and gets on a thing like this, and they're only in for $44.95, but you've got a massive amount of those people coming into your business for $44.95, $44.95, you think you might be able to upsell some of those people? See how that works? So we're going to open up that gate to the people so that they realize that if you want to be a leader, you better be on the path of personal development, and you better be creating some content. Because if you're not, forget about it. Right? That's going to be the foundational base. Right? You need a blog. Better be on personal development, and you've got to be putting out content that's going to help people solve their problems. Once they have that, and so for them to step up, I think there's like they have to bring in like 5 or 6 people. I can't remember what the numbers are. It's $17.50 per person. Okay, so let's figure out what that would be. They need to step up and get the inner circle. They need $100. So $100 divided by 17.5 equals. Oh, wait a sec. 100 divided by 17.5. Okay, so 5.7, so let's say 6, plus the 3 for their pass-ups. So they need a little group of 9 people to step up. Okay, now keep in mind, everybody that's out there that's ready to get out of the worker bee and into being a leader, they all have to have a blog. It's like the baseline mandatory thing, right? So they're going to do this amount, and they're going to step up. Now they're in the inner circle. They're going to get X amount of inner circles. Now they're going to step up to the top producer formula, and they're going to get a certain amount of top producers, and they're going to step up to the team builder, certain amount of team builders, and then step up to the black card. So literally, even with $44.95, we can show people how to go to the next level. Does that make sense, guys? Make sense? Okay. So if you're just watching this right now on YouTube and you are ready to, literally change your life, guys. And I'm really serious when I say this. If you go through this training, if you learn how to manifest, if you learn how the wave particle theory works, if you go through Unstoppable Vision and Unleash the Alpha Within, and you tap into our Millionaire mentoring, here's one thing that I will tell you. If you do the homework, if you're not prepared to be vulnerable, right? If you're prepared to be vulnerable, rather, and you're prepared to just say, okay, I'm drawing a line in the sand. I'm going to change my life right now. I can tell you this. If you go through and you make this commitment, you will never, ever have to worry about money again for the rest of your life. That I can guarantee you. And there's dozens of testimonies, guys, from even homeless to a $20,000 a month in 6 months. Okay? That's the worst possible case scenario if you were homeless, right? But there's even been a situation like that, right? 10 years of failure to multiple 6 figures per year, right, with students that have gone through my training, okay? 6 students so far have written their own books, right, from going through my training, okay? So all I can tell you is this. Throw your hat over the wall, click the link below. It's time for you to step up to freedom, take your life to the next level. My name is Darren Little from Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, with the MLM Superheroes, and I look forward to meeting you in person one day. I look forward to seeing you at the top. Bye for now.